Let's make Caine from the Amazing Digital Circus, starting out with some Sculpey ultralight rolled out into some nice little balls, placing these glass cabochon irises into place like so, and then we're going to pre-bake those for later usage. And now for the armature made out of aluminum wire, we are using Sculpey ultralight to bulk up that frame. And now with some twisted up armature wire, we're able to make the eyeballs float like this. And go ahead and shaping out that jaw line with this aluminum wire and using some red Sculpey 3 for this part of the process, and just flatten it out into shape and using some liquid clay adhesive, or bacon bond if you will, to adhere this long rolled out snake of clay. And just patting that into place and making it feel like it's nice and secured, but using this ball stylus to really get those edges blended in. And rolling it around and giving that mouth-like texture all around there. Using some more bacon bond or liquid clay adhesive, go ahead and put that on the top of the gums line to secure the teeth. We made these teeth off camera using some Sculpey Primo translucent. Once it's baked, it gives off a really toothy look. And just smushing them into place like so. It's looking pretty realistic to me. And for the other side of this decrepit looking mouth, you basically just repeat the process, except it's just a little bit hollow on the inside there. At this point I realize I could potentially be a dentist or just make dentures for a living. And for the majority of this project, we are using Super Sculpey Original, creating some long worms of clay and slicing them right down the middle, just not all the way through, and just wrapping them around the legs there, and just squishing them into place, and some round little pointy bits for his shoes. Taking some flattened sheets of clay and just covering the entirety of that body right there and smoothing all those rough edges. And now breaking out cosclay for the more loosey bits of his clothing, because cosclay is still flexible after painting, and yes, cosclay does blend very, very well with Sculpey. Here we are making the lapels. I just cut them out of a flattened sheet of clay and just placing them into place. And adding some little tiny balls of clay for some buttons. And if you're just curious what's in the background, a really good friend of mine had a custom plushie made for me. Maybe if we can get this channel to blow up, we can probably sell them. Now we're adding a little bow tie right there, and just like the legs, a nice worm of clay slit right down the middle and just pressing them into place. And just to exaggerate the shoulders a little bit more, it's almost like a triangle bit that I just kind of smashed in, giving him shoulders some definition. And repeating that same process on the other side. And here we are adding his hands into place. I made them off camera. And now we are adding his staff and just wrapping his little fingies around it. And a worm of clay right here to complete the glove look. And now once your headless homie is complete, we'll go ahead and send him off to the oven for his final bake. Now once baked and completely cooled down, we are using folk art matte acrylics for the entirety of this project. Go ahead and here we are painting the pants and the shoes black, along with the bow tie and the lapels and his staff. Now taking a lighter gray, almost white, and dry brushing in some details. And taking some white and pinstriping around those lapels. Also wanted to add a little bit more detail to the mouth and just dry brushing a very light pinkish color to bring out those details on those gums. Now let's go in and paint the whole jacket this really nice light pink color. And using some gold metallic paints, we are painting the top of that staff. It's definitely always great to use a black as the base, as it really makes those metallic paints pop out. And let's not forget the hands and the undershirt, as they are white. Usually takes a few coats or so, but it's definitely worth it. And painting the base red. I painted all the armature wire black to help give it the illusion that they are floating just like they are in the show. And with that, I'd say let's send them off for some glamour shots.